When we got to lay eyes on this, we didn't know what to expect, and very, very pleased, man. So blown away. Coming from a son of a carpenter, excellent work. Wonderful table, awesome piece.
Okay, thanks for sticking with me to the end. Finally get to see the table in all of its glory, watch it come together, and I'm excited because I finally get to give it to the incredible family that this is going to in this donation episode, which is sponsored by Cat Footwear, and they're Built for Better charity. Anyway, let's go meet Luke Luster and his family, hear their story, and check out how this table finally came together.
1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So my name is Luke Luster. I'm a driver for the Jonesboro Fire Department. I've been with them almost 12 years. So on March 28th, we had a tornado that went through Jonesboro, and I was actually on duty at my fire station and had no idea it was gonna be a storm that day. I knew it was supposed to storm, but not to that effect. And I was actually doing some of my own things. It was there on a Saturday, and my phone kind of vibrates. And so I looked at my phone, and it's "Take shelter now." And I didn't know why. It just been raining real hard, and I was like, okay. And so I looked at it, and then I could hear the tornado sirens going off. And so I was the officer in charge that day. And so I ran into the day room, and the sirens are going off, and my guys are glued to the TV, watching this storm form, live on TV in your hometown. We get tornadoes all the time, but they're usually out on like farmland. Maybe they hit somebody's silo, that's terrible, but, not through the middle of town. And so I called my wife, and I said, "Hey, are you watching your weather on their phone?" And she's, "Of course not." We're always fascinated with storms. Storms pop up, and we watch Twister. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Twister." And I'm like, I just need you to watch the weather first. This looks really bad, and if this does hit town, we're gonna be busy, and I need to know you're safe." And she said, "Yeah, I promise." And we made a few jokes, said "I love you," and got off the phone. And then about, a minute and a half later, the guy who was the battalion chief that day came over the radio and told dispatch that there was a tornado running through town, and debris was everywhere, and it was pretty close to him. And it was about Gateway Tire, which got flattened. And so we're watching this on the TV, and you can't believe you're watching your hometown live be tore up by a tornado. And so I called my wife, and she didn't answer, and I texted her because they were saying it was headed towards where we live and our house. And so I texted her, and I said, "Hey, get covered now." And I called her again, and she answered, and she said, "I gotta go, there's a tornado coming." I said, "Get covered now." So she thought she had hung up, and she hadn't. And so I could hear her running through the house with her phone. And this part's a little odd for me. So I could hear everything that was going on, but I wasn't quite sure what I was hearing. The noises, a lot of banging and cracking. I thought I knew what I was hearing, but I couldn't quite make everything out because it was so loud, big roar, which over the phone is really odd. All the doors, as soon as she got into the master bath, all the doors slammed shut. She was giving our 4-year-old son a bath, and our 4-year-old boy and this one were the only 2 kids at home with her. So she grabbed them and threw them in the closet, and I could hear my wife, screaming, "God, get us through this." And my boy was crying, and what she said bothered me the most, is "I don't want to die." And I was like, did I really hear that? And so then the phone went dead, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm standing in the engine bay, and I look at my 2 crew guys, and I'm like, "Man, it's hitting my house right now." And they just stood there, and within about a minute, my wife called me, and she said, "We're alive, but the house is gone, the car's gone, your motorcycle's gone, it's all gone." And I said, "Well, okay, I know you're safe now. I know you're okay. I'm fixing to be really busy. Let me know what you're doing from time to time. Text me, don't call, because I don't figure we're gonna be able to make calls." And so she said, okay. Of course, she's really upset. And fortunately, I had a guy who's starting to drive more and learn, and he was wanting to drive that day. And what a crazy day for him to try to get some experience. And then I had another guy who's a awesome fireman, pretty seasoned fellow, been a fireman actually longer than me. And he was there to really kind of keep me on course, help me solidify the decisions that I was making, make sure that I'm still making the decisions. I really relied on him a lot, and the other guy, man, he did great. And so we went through, and with the coronavirus going on, the mall was kind of shut down, and our mall got destroyed, just completely leveled. You're talking about Saturday, spring break weekend, 5 o'clock in the evening, it would have been packed. It would have been horrific. And we went to other neighborhoods and was checking them, and I didn't actually run into anybody who was actually hurt, and there was no deaths, so just a godsend. But enough of the higher-ups finally found out that my house was one of the houses hit and another fireman, and they actually made me leave, made me go home about 9 o'clock that night, and I got to go lay eyes on the house in the dark, and it was total chaos to see. And imagine how my family even lived, because we didn't have a shelter, anything like that. Everything was destroyed and it was gone. And what was there was annihilated. And filtering through what we could save, if there was some stuff, but not very much. But the community really came together. People started kind of donating some things to us, because we had to buy a lot of things just to live. We had to buy some blankets, and kids had no clothes. None of the clothes were any good. What clothes we found. Furniture was ruined, beds were ruined, tables, gone, all that stuff. And for people to come up and say, hey man, here you go. I know you need this. What clothes do you need? You got kids. What do you need? Do you have toothbrushes? We had to go out and buy all that stuff. And so people were donating, some money. And then some people donate clothes. And people such as yourself doing something really nice. Can't tell you how much that means to us. We can't put into words the gratitude and the gratefulness and how just gracious people have been, especially for something to be handmade, and you go through the trouble of putting the time and the work into it, and getting something that is so nice. And that when things are getting bad and rough, with a natural disaster, there's still good people out there, and people really come out of the woodwork. Cliche kind of thing to say, but people do really nice things. And so when we got to lay eyes on this, we didn't know what to expect. But coming from a son of a carpenter, excellent work. Wonderful table, awesome piece. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
Having been through this, what's something you take away from it?
Don't take it for granted. Enjoy the time you got with your family, with your friends, and materialistic things really don't matter as much as you thought they did. You can always get new things, but you can't replace your family. So one of the first things I did when I finally got to see my wife is, I gave her a big hug, and it's really scary, when the phone went dead and the call was gone, and I'm like, did I just listen to my family get blown away by a tornado? And then when she calls me within a minute, and to see her pull up on my phone ID, and I'm like, oh, and I answer the phone, I'm like, hey, she's like, we're okay, we're alive, and of course she's hysterical, but she still tells me they're okay. So that was a huge relief, just to hear her voice and to know that this is gone, but we're okay. That was my biggest takeaway from the whole thing is, I got a good family, and I don't know what I'd do without them.